Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, November 17th and this is the search news we covered at SERoundtable.com over the past week. First up, there seems to be some type of Google algorithm update going on. Google will not comment. I asked them, at least they said they're not going to comment. And it looks like it's been fluctuating starting sometime around November 14th, 13th, throughout today. People have been saying what happened on the 13th and 14th has reverted back for some people. People still see things shuffling around. Google will not comment, but all the tools and all the chatter is definitely there. There's lots and lots of chatter out there about this. All the tools have been lighting up, showing these changes. And we definitely believe there was some type of update, but Google, again, will not comment. Of course, they're doing several updates every single day, but this one seems to be bigger and not a typical Google update. So sad Google won't comment about it, but it is what it is. Google announced last night that Google will penalize, on some level, AMP pages that are showing teaser content. So a couple months ago, we actually showed how NBC News was doing something where they actually would show a snippet of the content and then say, click here to see the full content. So when you went from the top stories, let me show you the video of that. So when you went from the top stories carousel and you clicked on one of the top stories over here, specifically NBC News, you would be taken to this, which actually says view full experience, would take you off the AMP page and directly to the non-AMP page on NBC News. Google said, and as of February 1st, starting February 1st, 2018, they're going to start enforcing their content parity rule where the content on the AMP page has to match the content on the non-AMP canonical page. And if it doesn't, Google's going to go ahead and redirect the user directly not to the AMP page, but to your actual landing page, which will then result in you not being able to rank in those top story carousels. And this is going to start February 1st. I don't necessarily agree with this. I think as long as you're showing a nice size snippet, like this size snippet of the results, why not let the publisher actually take you to the full experience site? Because AMP is limited in terms of what they could show. But again, I'm not Google. I don't make these decisions. Google said they're still making changes to their Panda and Penguin algorithm. So we've been talking about this for a while. Google will not confirm any new Penguin or Penguin algorithm updates. Google said that they're all pretty much automatic these days. They're rolled in and they just go by themselves. But Eric from Google, while on stage with Gary and Nathan from Google, said that they're still making tweaks to both of those algorithms, but they won't confirm any of those changes going forward. So that's interesting to hear. Of course, we knew that Google does make tweaks to their algorithms. The question is, how big are those changes and what does that impact people? And how does that impact people? Google clarified what they were talking about around the Disavow file, when you should use it, when you shouldn't use it. And we discussed this last week about Gary saying you should only use it when you have a manual action. If you do not have a manual action, there's no need to use it. And John Mueller had to clarify because Gary's often straight to the point, but John Mueller's more PC, if you want to call it, that he basically said 100% use it if you have a manual action. 2, you can technically use it if you want to preemptively prevent future manual actions if you wanted to. I don't think he recommended that, but if you want to, you can. And 3, if you don't trust the Google algorithms for some reason and you think the Google algorithms are going to go ahead and penalize you for a bad link, then you can use it as well. But of course, we know that Google doesn't necessarily penalize. They just don't count those links in their algorithms. So I don't see a reason to do it for 3. If you're have a manual action, 100% use it. Even in 2, I wouldn't use it. I would just wait for the manual action and then use it. But that's my personal take. I'm not an expert link disavower, and there are people that do that all day. So listen to them, I guess. Google says disavowing no-follow links do no harm because, again, no-follow links don't pass link weight. So if you have one link that's no-follow from a bad site, and there's no other links from that site to your website, disavowing is not going to matter unless you want to make sure that if they ever do remove the disavow file, the no-follow link attribute to the link, then the disavow file is there just to protect you if you want to. It doesn't do harm because Google's not counting it anyway. Gary said at XMX, I'm surprised nobody really picked up on this, so I waited and waited and nobody really picked up on it, that Larry Page, the co-founder of Google, said he does not believe in manual actions. He thinks everything should be automated, and if an algorithm should be able to catch everything because humans don't scale. The interesting thing is that Google has sent, based on our estimates, at least last year in 2016, 500 manual actions per hour on average. And that's a lot of resources that Google's spending towards sending out these manual actions. And for Larry Page, the co-founder of Google, who owns most of the company, basically saying, hey, I don't believe in this, and they're still doing it, it shows you something is interesting or wrong that's going on. So I found that interesting as well. And of course, we knew that historically Google doesn't like manual actions, and that's really, we kind of pushed them into doing manual actions, in my opinion, because we kept complaining about our competitors ranking well for this, ranking well for that, and they were spamming. And Google's like, well, let our algorithms take care of it, but sometimes it takes too long for Google to write an algorithm just to prevent something from ranking. And of course, there's always those edge cases. So I guess Google succumbed to those complaints and actually created a manual actions team because of us, I believe. Google News said they are adding a new refer source, so not just news.google.com, but also news.url.google.com. I believe this has specifically to do with the new thing around the RSS feeds and how Google changed that a couple weeks ago. So just keep in mind that you may get refer sources from news.url.google.com as well as news.google.com. Google Search Console, the AMP report has content mismatch errors bug fix. So basically, if you go to your AMP reporting in Google Search Console and the content mismatch report, you'll see a little note there. And that note basically tells you that we fixed a bug in counting content mismatch errors. Therefore, some users may see an increase in the number of AMP errors for their site. This doesn't necessarily mean anything's changed. It's just they had a bug in showing mismatch errors. So definitely take a look at that report if you're doing AMP, because that's going to become even more important with this AMP penalty that we discussed earlier on. Google Job Search has updated and added some new features, specifically around salary estimates for specific job titles, location filters for better honing in on where you want to work, and saving jobs and so forth. So definitely take a look at that. They're really improving in their job search features, and you could get in there obviously by using the proper schema for your job listings. Google Maps announced they're going to be launching a brand new design. The new design seems a lot lighter, but Google said specifically it's to driving, navigation, transit, and explore maps to better highlight the information most relevant to each experience. So they came up with this grid. So there's like fast foods are in this color, shopping is in blue, this is in health is in red, and so forth, to help people actually zone in on what those things are. Google's messaging feature for Google My Business businesses now will show you the wait time for when a business will respond to you. So this says if you click on the messaging button, it will actually say it typically responds within 15 minutes. So it gives the user a little bit more information about when the user will respond and when the business will respond to you. This is getting a lot of controversy. Editorial reviews in the Google search results. Just take a look at this screenshot. All right, I'm gonna start scrolling. So this is a search for Max Trainer M5. You got the knowledge card with overview, stores, and reviews, a link to the manufacturer, the reviews, the ratings, shop on Google, some brand information, then the user reviews. Now there's these editorial reviews, which is new, then some videos. Again, where are the organic results? Gone. Google announced later on that this is a new feature, but again, editorial reviews are now in the Google knowledge card for products. The big business news for Google and Yahoo is that Mozilla, in their new Firefox browser, has dropped Yahoo, which they had a partnership for 3 years, and went back to Google for the default search provider. So that's the new default search provider for the new Firefox 57. And finally, this is cool thread, interesting thread over at Webmaster World around people getting out of the SEO business because it's just not working for them. They're not making enough money and they're supplementing that stuff. So I posted a poll. Curious to get your guys' responses on that. It looks like of the poll here that only about 35% of those who read this site, almost 800 responses almost, say they will be staying in SEO, but the rest of them are kind of diversify or get out of SEO completely, which is very interesting based on the number of responses. So if you haven't taken that poll, please take the poll and tell your friends and colleagues to take the poll as well. And that's pretty much it. Everyone, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz Video Recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. Today is Friday, November 17th, and this is search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.